んにちは。トゥルーパーエンターテインメントの宮本です。宮本です。今日はですね、なんとトゥルーパーチャンネル始まって以来2組目の外国人アーティストのゲストになるのかな。最初はマイケル・アーモンド来てくれたでしょ。次に第2弾わざわざね、このスタジオかな、まあいいや、ゲストで来てくれました。その人は誰かというと、ナパームデスのシェーン・エンバリーとマルク・バーニー、グリオが来てくれましたんで、これからちょっとね、いろいろとね、来日公演の話とか、今後の予定とか、いろいろ聞いていきたいと思いますんで、最後まで YouTube トゥルーパーチャンネルチェックしていただければと思います。ということで、今回ナパームです。久しぶりに、今ね、2023年の12月13日かななんですけど、生です。ありがとうございます。日本に来てくれてありがとう。Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming back to Japan.
Always nice.
でね、ナパームです。みんな知られてないと思うんですけど、2010年以降、ほとんど1年おきとか2年おきに来てるんですよ。コンサートに来てたのね。ところがコロナがあって、今回初めて4年空いちゃったんですよ。ナパームですと、ライブのね、日本でのライブが。それでもう非常に寂しかったのよ。でも今回わざわざ、コロナが落ちてたっていうのもあるんですけど、来てくれて本当にありがとうございます。
We're the reason for his existence.
それは寂しいだろうって。
いや、そうでね。
宮本さんの存在理由は俺たちだからって。
そう、雑ライト。で、その間何してたんですかね。
Well, when the pandemic kicked in, we just finished the tour, hadn't we? We just finished a campaign for musical destruction tour in Europe. As that happened, then it was just a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky really because when everywhere started to lock down and you couldn't play and the tours were stopping, we were lucky in the sense that our tour was about to finish anyway. Like, if you remember, Shane, we were meant to go to Switzerland, and that was the second day before the end of the tour. And the day before, literally, Switzerland said nobody can come into Switzerland and certainly play gigs. And then we had one more German show after that. So we actually managed to finish the tour with only the one cancellation. And like more generally, we had an album that was ready to go. So we didn't have to do any more work to it during the as it'd been in a place, you know, when you weren't supposed to be in places. So we were quite lucky that everything lined up fairly well. And so, you know, over the pandemic, the album was out basically during the pandemic. So that worked quite well, you know.
Yeah, I think for as regards to Napalm, it did work well. I mean, otherwise, we just kind of lived and got by. And I mean, I did a lot of musical stuff just because my brain was a bit on fire from like not used to being sort of at home for long. That was kind of a strange thing for everybody, I think. And then just bided our time until the world opened again, I guess.
そういった中過ごして日本に来ていただいて、ライブ昨日一昨日とやったと思うんですけど、やっとライブが帰ってきたということで、オーディエンスもやっと声が出せるようになったんですよ。わーっつって、その様子を見てどう思いました？日本に久しぶりに来て。
I was actually thinking of coming. It was an opportunity for me to come on my own, you know. But at that point, they were allowing people to come, but you had to be in an organised tour party. You couldn't come on your own. You had to register with a travel agent and be in a tour party. So I was like, no way. I mean, as I've said many times before, I think we've probably spoken about. I mean, I don't differentiate between people. People are people, you know. So it's like wherever you go in the world, it's kind of the same feeling, you know. So,
for me, it's nice to wrap up the end of the year here because Japan's a special place for me personally. Yeah, so I've been busy doing lots of shopping for my wife and children because obviously my wife's Japanese and she likes all the stuff from here. But I mean, it's good to finish this year here. It's a good positive note for me.
個人的に昨日のショーを見させてもらったんですよ。 で久しぶりにね、日本も久しぶりのライブでが行われるようになって、ちょっとずついろいろ見てたんですけど、ナパームのライブ見てちょっと感動したのが、結構ね、これ別に批判的なあれじゃないんですけど、最近の若いバンドって結構ね、シーケンサーとか動機とか使ってなんかわーっていう感じでライブを行って、出音はいいけれどもみたいな、そういうライブをやるんですけど、ナパーム久しぶりにもう裸一貫のもうグーッとくるガッツのあるライブを昨日見させてもらって、私は感動しましたっていうのを伝えてもらえますか。裸一貫でやってるっていう。
We sort of kind of pride ourselves on the fact that we are what we are. You know, it's simplistic, but the sound that comes out from that simplistic force, I suppose if that's the word to use, is enough for us. You know, I mean, it's what Napalm Death is about, really. Musically, I guess, and sonically. It's what we do, and we don't feel that we don't need to have lots of crew helping us. I mean, we have you guys here. The team. You know, this is you're like extended family for us. You know, so it's simple, really. I guess if that makes any sense, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Napalm has it definitely has a lot of characteristics in the music, but the rawness and the simplicity, the bedrock of it. I mean, that's what it is. You know, it doesn't require sort of polishing, because it's got to have the raw edges. You know, it's got to have the noise, the sort of chaotic feel. That's Napalm Death. It has to be that way. You know?
そうそう、特にね、セットリストが素晴らしくて、ニューアルバムは結構ね、多彩な感じなんですよ。多様性がある、いろんな音楽的エレメントを入れた感じのすごい多彩なアルバムで、ライブでどうなるかなと思ったら、うまい具合にそのセットで配置して、新譜の曲が結構一番多くやってるんですけど、うまく配置して、でそれに昔の曲をこう絡めるような感じで、ちょっとね、結構セットリストに今回感動したんですけど、どう思ってますか？
I suppose, without wishing to sound at all arrogant, I think that you have to have confidence in your music, and then I think also, to me certainly, it's always been important that whatever songs we make on an album, that we're able to play live, whichever song it is, So then obviously you can take that and you can mix everything up, almost throw it up in the air and see where it lands, But yeah, I mean, there's never one way to do things. There's always several ways to arrange stuff like that. So it can always be done, always. I think.
Because with now we've been playing together with John for a while, the sound is. You develop, even though the songs are from different eras, the overall sound live kind of ties it.
Yeah, it's like a symmetry.
It ties it all in. It helps, so it becomes seamless in a way. So you can play like a moral, and then go into the kill. It makes sense. You get energy from the reaction and the live feeling, and that's all adding to the mix of it making it seamless, I suppose.
Totally.
いや、本当素晴らしいショーでした。今日も頼むよって。
Those two shows are just amazing, and
Yeah.
just wish to,
Thank you.
yeah,
Appreciate
another
it.
great one tonight.
で、ちょっとね、真面目な質問したいんですよ、ちょっとね、ちょっと今。
Some serious
そうです。
questions.
リルビットシリアスね。どうしても聞きたいんですよ。っていうかね、今ね、もうなんか戦争とか起こっちゃってるじゃないですか。で、結局それで要するにロシアの上飛行機飛べないとかでいろいろねところがある、我々にも被害があるのみならず、実際にもうそう大変なことになってる中で、結局ナパームって音楽的にね結構アグレッシブなことやったりわーってやってるんですけど、個人的には世界平和を願ってるバンドだともう冗談抜きで思ってて、そういう人間のダークな部分とかもこう提示しつつも、実は本当は世界平和というか人間こういうふうにっていう感じで思ってるんですけど、ナパームが思ってると思ってるんですけど、もう今の状況どう思いますか？もう嫌ですよね。
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, Napalm's always been a paradox. You've got the super violent, aggressive music, but the lyrics are, in terms of the feel, you could say are the exact opposite of that, you know. And I think it's good to have that kind of contradiction, you know, paradox almost. So that's the first thing to say. The second thing is, I mean, maybe a bit simplistic and a bit general, but you would think that human beings would have learned by now that what's currently going on, not only in Europe but also further afield from Europe, you would think that human beings would have learned by now that this is not the way to resolve things, you know. So it's quite depressing. But then, you know, the thing is that I'll do a lot of interviews where one of the questions that people ask is oh, don't you think the world's like really shit right now? It's like, well, it's always been shit. You know, if for example, if you were born 100 years ago, you would have, certainly if you were born in the UK or in countries across Europe, you would have been drafted in to basically a glorified mud bath to die in fields in France for no reason, at the whims of, you know, elite people, generals and you know, politicians who thought it was a good idea to send you know, hundreds of thousands of people to fight in a square of mud and like move backwards and forwards very minimally. It was like one of the most stupidest situations. So yeah, I mean, the world's always shit, you know, and human beings don't learn. Human beings are supremely arrogant, you know. They just do these things, and they supposedly intelligent people never learn.
There's always powers at play.
Yeah.
There's always been these dynamics of like the powerful, the less powerful, and it's usually the less powerful who have to suffer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
ちょっとね、シリアスな質問だったんで、ちょっと話題を変えましてですね、ライブを見ました。
He thought he just asked too serious a question
Tetsu's
again.
never serious. This
No.
is a new development, you know.
真面目な質問するってのはこれも新たな進化だって。
おお、違う違う。
New development.
昨日、ちょっと今度はちょっと違ったね。そうね。
He wants to change the subject.
そう、昨日、一昨日でライブ見て、もうね、4年ぶりだったの。若々しかったのよ。まあ、バーニーは一生懸命ね、シェーンは結構ね、ちょっと痩せてて、このなんかやってるんですか？結構ね、年なのに結構頑張ってて。そう、なんかやってるのかな？
You know, I mean,
I'm a surprise.
I mean, really, yeah, I'm trying. I mean, you know, my wife's like, yeah, you know, lose a little bit of weight, and you know, also health, really, you know, and just, yeah, I'm 56, you know, I'm trying to keep the weight down, and it does help for sure, you know. I've always been a man of excess, unfortunately, over my years. I'm trying to correct that in my later years, I suppose, for want of a better word, you know. So yeah, I'm trying, you know, it does help.
バーニーはなんでそんな若々しいの？
I mean, I can't really answer that, you know. I mean, it's just no. I mean, I'm kind of lucky because my parents, like my mum, has always looked really young, and I think I've kind of got my mum's side. Like my mum's like 70 something. She doesn't look anywhere near 70. So I'm quite lucky in that respect. But you know, I think like I've got a really strict vegan diet, and that I think really helps. You know, it's a cleaner diet. You know, obviously, and it really helps. You know, it's certainly
things like that matter.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a vegan, but I've certainly been watching a lot of what I eat, and it does help. If you eat the right things, you'll get a little bit of goodness and colour in your cheeks, and you know, and hopefully lose a little bit of weight and things like that. So yeah, it does help.
Yeah, you generally feel better. You know, it gives you an energy boost.
Lots of walking.
Yeah, and also exercise. You know, but the thing is that whatever diet you've got, you kind of need to make it as clean as you possibly can, really, you know, because like processed foods and stuff, all that crap, you know, it's not going to help you in the long run, you know. If you do want to sort of have a health-wise, a kind of fruitful sort of life, you know, there's no getting around it, you know. You have to.
I think it's important. You have to keep moving as well.
Yeah,
That's what I found is just get up and go, walk down the gym. You know, not much, but something. You know, for me especially, because it definitely helps to move. get some oxygen through your body, you know, really.
You know what's also really important, so is, and like people are just starting to talk about it more and more and more, but sleep. Sleep is absolutely essential. If you don't get enough sleep at night, everything else kind of becomes less effective, you know. And it's tricky, you know. I mean, I personally, I know Shane struggles with sleep. I never used to have a problem with it, but a little bit more. I'd go through small periods of insomnia, and there's nothing worse. It just feels like the ceiling's coming in, you know.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It can be tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky with I find tricky for me with travelling with young children because they keep me awake, you know.
Yeah.
But in a good way. But of course, you know, you need to get your rest. Sometimes it's recognising when you need to rest, because you get into this habit of like overwork. You always have to do, you know, trying to take the time to go, okay, I'm just going to do nothing right now. And that's important too, because you are doing something, even though you may feel like you're doing nothing.
本当健康に気をつけて長生きしてグレートなライブを今後もやってくださいね。
To take very good care of yourself so that you can keep going on, you know, on stage and everything. So
That's the plan.
そのつもりでいます。
じゃあ OK 時間なのでじゃあ今後のナパーム決意って言ったら変だな。なんか言って終わりにしましょう。
Like basically, if people didn't come, we wouldn't be here, you know, we wouldn't be able to come to... There's not many bands making music like we do that can come to Japan or anywhere else consistently through the years, you know, and that's... We should never take that for granted. You never should take those things for granted, because tomorrow it could be not possible, you know. So...
I think sometimes you think we can all feel that life is, and it is a little tough at times, but then you get to come to places like Japan where you feed off people's enthusiasm and passion for the band, and that means a lot, really. It does. It makes you feel that you've achieved a lot, I guess, you know, and it's good. It's a nice feeling, you know.
You know, they're just people like us.
Yeah.
We're no different, you know. So it's to be received in that way is you know, it's like it's almost invaluable, you know, in some ways. So I mean, it's much appreciated, you know. I mean, you can't really say any more than that, you know. It's
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I have a question for you, Ted. So
Okay, what?
Are you ready to sing tonight?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Trust me. Let's go, yo.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Thank you very much. じゃあ今日はね、トゥルーパーチャンネルということで、ナパームのシェーンとバーニーを迎えてお送りしました。ありがとうございました。バイバーイ。
ありがとう。After Tetsu, after 4, yeah.
Here we go. Watch this. More light.
Ready.